Hi guys, it's Lynnea. Today I'm going to be creating with some Gina K Designs and ThermaWeb products. I'll be creating a poinsettia themed card. And now before doing this voiceover, I did my research on how to correctly say poinsettia because usually I say poinsettia. Google said either is acceptable, however, I do believe that the correct pronunciation is poinsettia. So I will try my best throughout this video to say it like that. So let's get started here. I have just a piece of white cardstock from Gina K Designs, and I am going to mask off the bottom portion, or the top portion rather, so I can do some technique on the bottom of this card. So I have a piece of Gina K Designs Masking Magic. I love these masking paper sheets because they have just the perfect amount of tack to them. I've never had one shift while I'm working on a project, and I have never ever had one tear a project or leave any kind of adhesive behind. So I use these all the time for masking. I masked off the top of my card, and I'm using the Wishing You Joy stencil from the Stamp and Stencil system from Gina K Designs. And now I'm going to add some gold Glitz Glitter Gel, and I'll use a stencil pal just to add that snowflake stencil at the bottom of my card. I love this little flurry of snowflakes. I use it all the time with inks and with glitz and even metallics gel. It is so pretty. I'm going to peel back this stencil very carefully, and then I'm going to peel back the Gina K Designs Masking Magic paper. And you can see here how cleanly it removes. It peels right back, and it's going to leave that clean, crisp line from the Glitz Glitter Gel and the stenciling and all that good stuff. It's so pretty. And I will even use my stencil pal and scrape off that Glitz Glitter Gel that's on the Masking Magic, and then use just a baby wipe to wipe it away. I'll put that back into the package, and I can use that again and again until the stick goes away. So now I'm going to be using some Deco foil flock transfer sheets. I'm using two of the new colors, emerald green and ruby red, and I have some easy cut 6x6 adhesive sheets, and I am just adding those onto some white pieces of cardstock. If you've seen my videos before, you've seen me do this before. This is my favorite way to use both Deco foil and Deco foil flock transfer sheets. It just makes it so easy to use these iCraft full adhesive sheets. So I added that onto a piece of cardstock, and now I'm going to cut down some of the flock transfer sheets to be slightly larger than my cardstock pieces. The big one's going to be the ruby red, and the smaller one will be the emerald green. I'll peel back the backing of that adhesive sheet, and then to transfer flock onto cardstock, you want to put the adhesive into the pretty side of the flock, opposite of what you do for foil. So I'm showing you this here again. My adhesive is face up, and I'm just going to lay that flock into it, and then I'll run that through my die cutting machine to really use the pressure to transfer that onto my cardstock. I'll peel away that excess, and here you can see those pretty colors of the flock transfer sheets on my cardstock pieces. Now I have some of the dies from the Wishing You Joy Stamp and Stencil set from Gina K Designs, and I'm going to cut those out from the pieces of the flock that I transferred onto cardstock. I have a few of the poinsettia flowers and then some of the leaf shapes as well. Now the Wishing You Joy stamp set has detailing for a lot of there's an ornament, there's like little berries and everything. So I'm going to use the center of this poinsettia flower, and I will use my anti-static powder tool and some Versamark ink, and I'm just going to stamp this onto the center of that flower. I'm going to hold my ink block there. Because this is the flock transfer sheets, I want to hold it there a little bit longer than I would for cardstock to make sure that that Versamark ink is going to transfer. I added some white embossing powder, and you can see as this melts here how cool it looks. You know, when you emboss on paper, the white embossing kind of gets brighter, and I love that when you emboss on this flock, it kind of sinks into the flock, and it looks like you stamped with a pigment ink. It looks so cool. Now I'm going back to the gold Glitz Glitter Gel and the Wishing You Joy stencil, and I'm going to add some gold details. So that has that little cluster of like dots for the center of the poinsettia flower. I'm going to add those, and I still have pixie spray on the back of my stencil from when I sprayed the back to do the glitz on the bottom of my card. So I'm just using that pixie spray and it's tacking this onto the flock die cuts here. I'll use a palette knife instead of my stencil pal just because these are smaller areas and it was easier for me to make sure that I didn't get any of that Glitz Glitter Gel where I didn't want it to go. I'll do the same thing for the leaf die cuts, adding that gold detail, the veins and everything up on the leaf. And check that out. I love that gold against the emerald green flock. It's so pretty. So now all my pieces are dry. I have an extra piece of the ruby red flock transfer sheet from when I was doing my die cutting. I'm going to glue that onto right where the stenciling it was masked off to add just a defining finishing edge. I think that it just kind of makes the card look completed. I already stamped and heat embossed the Season's Greeting Sentiment. That is from the Wishing You Joy stamp set. And now I'm going to use some iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive to start gluing on my pieces. I want the leaves to be glued flat onto my card, so I'm using liquid adhesive for that. I've kind of arranged everything, and now I'm just lifting everything up and putting it right back where I wanted it to go. For the poinsettias, I'm going to pop them up. So I have some Gina K Designs white foam squares. I added them to the back of the flowers, and then I'm also going to add just a tiny little drop of the iCraft Ultra Bond. This allows me to kind of wiggle things around, and it also just gives me that extra assurance that it's going to hold. Anytime I'm gluing on top of like flock or Glitz Glitter Gel, I like to have that extra hold from the liquid adhesive. And this is my finished card. Check out all that sparkle and shine from the gold Glitz Glitter Gel, and there's so much texture on those flock die cut pieces as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. See you soon. Bye.